Hello and welcome to a very special Tuesday edition of The Nerve. I am your host, Maureen Callahan, and today we have a show like no other. Plus, another breaking Nerve announcement, which we here at Nerve Central know will make you guys very happy because we listen to you when you tell us what you want. We are also going to give you the direct link to our online Nerve shop. Yes, merch launched officially on Sunday night during our Emmy live stream. We'll show it to you also on screen, and you can also access it with the QR code that you will see as well. Okay, let's get to it. We again are so lucky to have a special guest helping us to recap, review, and resist the insanity and inanity we saw at the Emmys on Sunday. Yes, Kinsey Schofield, host of Kinsey Schofield Unfiltered. And if you haven't subscribed already, go over to Kinsey's channel and subscribe. It is beyond watchable. Nobody has the intel she's got on the royals for one, okay? Kinsey will be here to discuss all of the wild stuff we were not able to get to on Emmy night. The looks, the winners, the losers, and trust me, we're not just talking awards. The after parties, the superstar who's been shunned and who skipped the after parties. And yeah, we have to talk about the political statements because they are shoving them in our faces. In short, we have bodies upon bodies ready to be given entrance to the woodshed. After that, we're going to take a look at New York Fashion Week, which really passed without much notice. And, you know, that says a lot. But specifically, we are going to be talking about a new and pervasive, very strange trend that further proves to my mind the fashion industry has entered its final death jiggle. Anne is gone. It's a chicken or the egg thing, right? Who died first, metaphorically, symbolically speaking? Anyway, and then we are going to get to the best part of any Nerve, your emails and feedback, plus our very special announcement. We can't wait. So let's go. Are you accidentally turning healthy fruits into unhealthy ones? It's more common than you might think. While fruit can be great for digestion, reducing bloating, and even supporting weight loss, many Americans make one major mistake that cancels out all of those benefits. Some fruits may actually harm your energy levels and your digestion. I came across a viral video from world-renowned heart surgeon, Dr. Stephen Gundry, and he reveals in this video the 3 fruits to immediately avoid. It is shocking. You would have no idea. So if you cut these out, you will notice a difference. And we're going to put a link here for all of you to watch it. If you would like to see it, it is important. You can watch it at thehealthyfat.com/nerve. That's thehealthyfat.com/nerve. Dr. Gundry lost 70 pounds and has kept that off for over 20 years using this approach. His digestive issues are gone, and he says he now feels better than he did in his 40s. More than 20 million people have watched his free presentation, so don't miss it. He explains exactly what to avoid and what to eat instead. Watch it now at thehealthyfat.com/nerve or click the link below. It could change the way you eat and feel forever. With me now is Kinsey Schofield. Kinsey, I am so excited to have you in the studio for the second time in 1 week. We are fresh off our Emmys live stream. And now it is time to do our recap of these repeat offenders. Before we get into it, I want to say that I heard all of you. And I heard you asking why last week we here at The Nerve did not address the tragedy of Charlie Kirk and the loss of Charlie Kirk. And, you know, I was of two minds about it because The Nerve here, our mission is really to be a place where you come to just, all of that stuff, you just leave it behind for a moment. We are your respite. We are supposed to be your oasis in the desert where you can take your mind off of your troubles and just have some fun. I columned on him last week over at the Daily Mail, and I just want to say and reiterate that what a tragic, needless, senseless loss of life. And our sympathies are with all of his family members, his wife, his 2 children, his friends, his colleagues, everyone who admired him, who knew him either through his work or personally. And, we are really a politics-free zone, but it's interesting because as we go into our Emmy recap, these people brought politics onto that Emmy stage, onto that red carpet, into their pressers after winning. We've got a newly minted fave of Hamas.
Oh, God.
We're going to get to. And it's worth mentioning that of every political statement or button or handbag or accessory donned last night, not one single person mentioned the name Charlie Kirk.
Right. That's why we're doing it now. Mm-hmm. A force for good stolen from all of us.
Yeah. But, nonetheless, not worth mentioning, apparently, in that room or on that carpet.
Yeah, because let's celebrate terrorism.
Yeah, it is upside down world. It is upside down. I mean, this is, okay, our first offender, who actually, I was just talking to someone before we got on to join you guys, who said, the deal with Hannah Einbinder, who won for playing Ava Daniels on Hacks. That show is all Jean Smart, if you ask me. Okay, that show is all Jean Smart. She said, Hannah won for playing herself because if she had any range, she'd be booking jobs left and right, and that is the truth. So Hannah Einbinder wins for, I believe it was Best Supporting Actress for Hacks, and she gets up and decides to deliver this little nugget. Here we go.
I just want to say, finally, go Birds, guys, and free Palestine. Thank you.
Oh, and she's walking off so proud of herself. F ICE and free Palestine. Kinsey.
Bisexual, outspoken, willing to be half naked. Hamas would eat you for lunch. You're such a stupid bitch.
She's also Jewish, is she not?
She's Jewish. Yes, she's Jewish. But I mean, who would know watching that?
So she was one of a cohort of actors and actresses last night wearing a little red pin. And you might have heard us talking about or like questioning it on the live stream. We were like, what is that thing? Because it was so small as to be indecipherable. And I wonder if that is by design, literally and metaphorically. Now, Hannah, who I suspect Jean Smart really cannot stand. I suspect this is the case. As my friend backstage was saying, her theory is Jean works it all out on the show. And when her character is reaming Ava Daniels out for her generational and intellectual fraudacity, that's Jean's real, feelings. I like it as a working theory. So anyway, Jean is standing next to Hannah while she's doing her victory lap backstage. And she's asked by the media why and how it is she is supporting Hamas, in essence. Yeah. Here we go.
It's an issue that's really close to my heart.
If you're listening, her entire top half
like
is blurred out.
It is my obligation
because her shoulders are bare.
As a Jewish person to distinguish Jews from the state of Israel because our religion and our culture is such an important
Can you do that?
And long-standing
important.
Basically like
institutions and okay. So as she's struggling, not since Meghan Markle was asked, is what's the one thing about you wish people would know? And she looked to the heavens and went, Has a celebrity struggled to get an answer out thoughtfully and succinctly? Okay, she should have known this was coming. But we're looking at her blurred out because Hamas saw this clip and loved it. So if you
shared
think
it.
these are just meaningless award ceremonies with like dummy celebrities who aren't really causing any harm with their bullshit, not so. Hamas took that clip and they're circulating it on their media platforms and their social media, but they blurred out the top of her because she's wearing a shoulderless dress, one sleeved, and you cannot see her shoulders and you cannot see her boobs, which are just like covered up under a gown, and you can't see her goddamn button either because that had to get blurred out, even though it's in support of Hamas.
It is ridiculous. Yeah, like they are using you as a vehicle over there. They are saying, look, we're influencing the Americans. Look, we are converting people. She is so stupid, and I am so thoroughly disappointed. The Kardashian voice, and I'm trying to figure out what I should say. If you're going to make a statement like that, come prepared with facts and figures when you get back in front of all that media and all those cameras. I also love that she has taken it upon herself to speak for the Jewish community. That she is the figurehead that wants to make sure that everybody knows that the state of Israel is not a representation. The state of Israel that allows her to work and basically Israel and what Israel has done in the past is the reason she's able to comfortably live in the United States and work as basically a court jester and just be the silly person on TV that memorizes lines and delivers them. I just think it's infuriating and so disappointing. I wanted to love her. I loved Hacks.
So this brain trust would have us know that you can separate Jews from the Jewish state. I don't think she's looked at the flag recently, the flag of Israel. And secondly, she openly identifies as bisexual. And honey, Hamas would throw you off the nearest rooftop, and then they would stone you, and then they would gang rape you for good measure, and then they would cut your body apart and play with your dismembered breasts like they did to their Jewish victims on October 7th.
And stream it on the internet like they did on October 7th.
So good luck with your support of Hamas. Why don't you maybe go take a tour of Gaza?
Well, that's
Go do it.
She says the reason she's doing it is because she has friends in Gaza. Well, then get your butt on a plane and go over there yourself. You know, I have friends in Gaza.
I'm sure you do. I'm so sure you do. Name them. Name them. Okay, this is, you know what, Kinsey, this is kind of another nerve first because I'm not used to having like a fellow commentator at the desk, and the vibe I'm feeling, and I kind of wish I had my devil horns right now, but spiritually they're always with me. Do you ever watch Access Hollywood with Mario and Kit? And like they do a middle of the day show, like because like there's always these hot updates that it's like if you're hospitalized, you're subjected to watching this. But I feel like we are like the real deal version, like we're the flip side of like the Access Hollywood, where like we are talking about the Emmys, but the real story, not the garbage you're going to get on Access Hollywood, where they're going to be like, wow, wasn't Stephen Colbert's speech great? Okay. It was not. We're going to break this into two parts. Stephen won for like best late night host or whatever. So let's look at the first part of this speech.
Thank you for this honor. I want to thank CBS for giving us the privilege to be part of the late night tradition, which I hope continues long after we're no longer doing this show.
Well, Stephen, it's not going to, because not only did they cancel you, they said that you basically killed off the late night franchise. They said they're not doing it anymore because his show costs $200 million a year to produce and loses $60 million?
Right. The return on investment isn't there. And I think we've had this conversation for the last few years. Late night's remember how sweet Johnny Carson was? I mean, I think he was a bad word behind the scenes.
Oh, Kinsey.
But when you
bad word behind the scenes.
But when you watch Johnny Carson, you had no idea how he voted. He took pot shots at everybody, and it was literally just an escape before bed. You could get lost and you could laugh, and that is not what late night is anymore. Now they are preaching at you, and they're overly critical to the point of cruelty to a very specific political scene. So it's just not the same thing anymore. I think that aside from being ridiculously expensive, the experience is gone.
Yeah, he's not funny. He's not funny. He's a big scold. He's a big Basically what these people are doing, the Stephen Colberts of the world, the Jimmy Fallons of the world, is they are telling more than half of their would-be audience that they think you're stupid. Mm-hmm. And they're going to keep banging that drum. Now, I have a theory about Stephen Colbert, and after we see the second part of his completely unself-aware speech, I guess the humiliation of getting canceled and your overlords at CBS telling you the day before your next show, I think they gave him like 24 hours notice. I guess that humiliation didn't sting enough or land enough or have the intended effect, because Stephen Colbert is still completely outer limits. Let's take a look at this part of his speech.
10 years ago, in September of 2015, Spike Jones stopped by my office and said, "Hey, what do you want this show to be
Name
about?"
drop.
And I said, Spike, I don't know how you could do it, but I'd kind of like to do a late night show, a late night comedy show that was about love. And I don't know if I ever figured that out, but at a certain point, and you can guess what that point was, I realized that in some ways we were doing a late night comedy show about loss. And that's related to love, because sometimes you only truly know how much you love something when you get a sense that you might be losing it. And 10 years later, in
like your show,
of 2025, my friends, I have never loved my country more desperately. God bless America. Stay strong, be brave, and if the elevator tries to bring you down, go crazy and punch a higher floor. Woo!
People are so annoying.
First of all, Stephen Colbert has no business quoting Prince. Do not go near my beloved Prince.
You offend us.
And he wasn't talking about the likes of you.
Yeah.
So first, I love the needless name drop. When I was starting my show, Spike Jones swung by my office, and I said, "Spike, I don't know what kind of show I wanted. I want to do a late night show that's about love."
And that's why I brought up the Prince William, Catherine affair rumors, because that's so loving to be the dick that while a woman is dealing privately with cancer in the background, you're stirring the shit pot and accusing her husband of having an affair with one of their family's best friends. That's so loving, Stephen Colbert. Thank you.
Yeah, it is very Christian. It's very Catholic of him. And then he goes, but then I realized I was doing a show about loss. First of all, if you want to wonder why your show was canceled, it's supposed to be a late night comedy show that puts America to bed after they've worked 12 hours a day, struggle to pay their bills, pack their kids' lunches, make dinner, get them bathed, get them to bed, and then maybe have an hour to themselves. Mm-hmm. But you think you want to do a show about loss. And my theory about Stephen Colbert is this. Stephen Colbert is stuck in the gear of like tragedy porn. He is stuck in the gear of the losses he suffered as a young man. He lost several family members in a plane crash, and this is his gear. And I sense a lot of rage under that, like very otherwise placid, I'm just your friendly middle-aged man from New Jersey demeanor. I do. I think it's dark under there.
Well, they go host a podcast with Brian Williams about sad things, but this is not the venue for you.
No. I think Stephen will start a podcast, and he'll maybe start a Substack, but probably really a podcast. He'll try to replicate Conan O'Brien's success. I don't think he will. No, because Conan O'Brien had a real fan base that felt very loyal towards him, and Conan O'Brien can laugh at himself.
And he's hilarious. He also loves Elvis.
Oh, does he? I didn't know that.
Elvis. He's a part of our tribe.
Amazing. He's Irish. Kinsey's not Irish. I'm Irish, but Stephen Colbert cannot laugh at himself. And, again, read the room. So he goes, now I love my country more desperately than ever. And, because I've lost my show because of Donald Trump. You lost your show because you're not funny.
Right.
And
math. You lost your show because of math.
Accounting. Yeah. Okay, now we're going to move on to the wholesome host of this year's Emmys, the clean comic, Nate Bargatze. And I caught a lot of shit from you guys, and it's cool. We can agree to disagree. But he flopped. Okay, so the Hollywood Reporter, going to quote a bit from their review. Oh my God, I'm so glad we missed this while we were drinking and just laughing our asses off over at our live stream. So apparently at the beginning of the show, Nate threw down a challenge. This is from the Hollywood Reporter review. He announced that I love people who publicly announce their charitable acts. I love them. They're always doing it for the right reasons. He announced he was donating $100,000 to the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. but that any acceptance speeches at the Emmys pushing longer than 45 seconds would cause that pot to diminish, and that shorter speeches could restore some of that money. What an ass. This is not your night.
I'm stressed, like thinking about having to keep up with that. Okay. But it also shows who the real jerks are, with Hannah being one of them, because she was the first one to go over.
Well, she said, I'll make up the difference. She did say
How
she would make up the
generous.
difference. So, I mean, point on the board for Hannah
I guess.
and Hamas.
And Hamas.
Hamas, that's some money you're not getting. Sorry, he's got to put it in Nate's pocket so he can write it off on his taxes next year for his charitable donations. Now, New York Magazine review, Bargatze as host in general, all over the place, barely funny, under-rehearsed. I mean, you've got weeks and weeks to rehearse for that stuff. He should have known this inside and out. Uncommitted to his own bits and clearly having trouble with the teleprompter. He turned in a poor performance. This may well be consistent with his quote-unquote successful milquetoast comic shtick. But as master of ceremonies for television's biggest night, woefully inadequate. Rolling Stone also spanked. Nate Bargatze spent the rest of his time as host freezing, dropping jokes entirely, and generally looking lost. Maybe he should have dreamed up a better rehearsal. Now, the same thing with this $100,000 donation. So Rolling Stone went into this whole thing, but this is my whole. This to me is like the problem with the guy who said at the CBS Sunday Morning interview he did like a week ago that his ultimate goal, Kinsey, is he's going to build a theme park to himself for our purposes.
Thank God.
Because,
Thank God.
Kinsey, he can't go to every club in every city, in every state. So let's build a theme park to oneself and let everyone experience the magic of Nate Bargatze.
I mean, just do a Britney residency in Vegas. I don't really think we need to erect an entire roller coaster for Nate.
Nate could never do a residency, Kinsey, because he's a clean comic, and Vegas is Sin City.
That's true. That puts us in a predicament.
Also, just to put an exclamation point on the end of that sentence, Rolling Stone called Bargatze's hosting inadequacies as emotional porn.
Oh.
Like using the Boys and Girls Club of America and that donation as again, it's not a telethon.
Right.
But I just think he was trying to make himself look like such a great guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he was trying to stand out because he knows that ultimately he can't compete with some of the best hosts. When we think about some of the best hosts, it has been, oh my gosh, Billy Crystal. Do you remember?
Great point. Yes.
And
also really worked clean for the most part.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he knew he couldn't compete, and this was his way of trying to stand out, but it just it didn't hit the mark.
Didn't hit the mark. Now, Javier Bardem, I'm dying to know. We're going to take a look at him, this bad boy on the red carpet. Not only is he wearing an Artist for Ceasefire pin, we're going to get to the origin story of that, but he is also wearing a keffiyeh. And my question is, who designed the keffiyeh? Is it Prada? Is it Chanel? Is it Louis Vuitton? Or is it more likely Amazon Prime?
Oh my gosh, I think it's Amazon Prime. It's giving Amazon Prime. Joan Rivers would have had a field day with this man.
Joan Rivers would have crucified him. He would have run screaming the other way. Are you kidding me? Now, has Javier ever played gay?
I have to tell you something.
Yeah.
I get Javier mixed up with Jeffrey Dean Morgan on a religious basis. Like, they have the same face. And so I couldn't tell you. But what I will say is I hope Jeffrey Dean Morgan takes every job from Javier from here on out.
100%. Great point. You know who I think has the same face, but you would never mistake them because their hair color is completely different. Benicio del Toro and Brad Pitt.
Oh.
Same face.
I thought you were going to go with never mind. But yes, I can see that now.
Okay. Well, there was an open letter written to the quote unquote red hand supporters who, the actors, producers, that entire cohort wearing this red pin as they, really went full Zoolander, full blue steel on the red carpet. Oh, Gaza, ceasefire, human slaughter. And also be sure to get my ass that I've been working on in Pilates for, these many months. This is an open letter written by an organization called The Brigade, a pro-Israel, pro-Jewish organization. To the Red Hand supporters, we turned the other cheek when you pinned a symbol of Jewish murder to your awards lapels. We took the high road when you cried for a ceasefire that already existed before Hamas shattered it on October 7th. But today we will not be silent. That pin is no symbol of peace. It is the emblem of Jewish bloodshed. In 2000, Palestinian terrorists in Ramallah lynched 2 innocent Israelis, ripped them apart limb by limb. I believe they disemboweled them. That's my aside. Then held up their blood-soaked hands, which I am sure, again, were dismembered, to a cheering mob. That infamous image, the blood-soaked hand, the hand that is on that pin, is now your ceasefire badge. Ceasefire in quotes, as it should be. And on the very day it was discovered that the Bibas babies, innocent Jewish children, were strangled to death by the terrorists' bare hands, you asked Hollywood to wear it with pride. Is this ignorance, or is this deliberate, calculated malice?
Oh my gosh, I could not answer that. I want to assume it's ignorance. I want to assume that they are just so stupid.
I just, I've spoken about this before. I watched the October 7th footage that was put together in a short film by the IDF, and whoever put that together deserves all the awards because it does tell a story. And once you see what the terrorists did to the Jewish people and other innocents caught up in October 7th, you can never unsee it, and there's zero justification for it. So let's look at Megan Stalter on the red carpet, okay? This bitch from Hacks shows up on the red carpet in a white t-shirt, in blue jeans, a black belt, an Artist for Ceasefire pin, and on her handbag, what looks to me like a homemade ceasefire sign that looks like it's taped on there. Yeah. Her stylist is Jordan Johnson.
They want credit for that. I would be like, could you just not mention me? Sorry, here's your American Eagle jeans. Could you just not mention me?
Now, first of all, before we let's take a look at Megan Stalter's interview on the red carpet, and then we'll address this on the other side.
First of all, I'm sure a lot of people are asking, but the look, please.
I don't want to get recognized tonight. So I'm trying to do a more low-key look. It's really overwhelming because I'm a huge megastar now, so it's really hard when people come up to me. So I thought maybe the glasses and like a more casual look would be like, yeah.
Any of this
Showing
designer,
off her bag.
or is it just like, you know what, I'm grabbing this out of my closet and going?
It's designer. It's Hanes and Levi's. That's it. Those are designers.
Okay. Yes, they are actually. Perfect. You have ceasefire here. You're wearing the pin as well. Why was it important for you to have both of those as a part of your look tonight?
Well, it's important for people with a platform to speak out, and it's the most important thing in the world to have peace. And, I can't not
get it out, Megan.
And I feel like it's more.
What are you saying, though?
Anything about my look, whether I was in a big gown or jeans, I feel like it's really important to speak out about those things that are really
about what?
All the things,
about what?
All the
what
things.
Are you speaking out about, you bitch?
Well,
Kinsey.
First of all, why is Hamas not sharing this video? Is it because she's a member of the itty bitty titty committee and she didn't find a proper bra?
Is it because she's not attractive?
I don't know.
Is it, first of all, Hamas would still take issue with you, sister, because you're showing 3/4 of your arms. You have a terrible foundation garment on, as discussed on the Emmys live stream. We can see bits of your breasts pushing out of your bra. The red lipstick would get you stoned in a heartbeat.
I am so disappointed. Like, we had this conversation during the Emmys live stream, but like, I want to love these actors because I love the content. I love the characters that they play. And I specifically liked her on Hacks. Mm-hmm. And then you realize that these, it's hard, but you have to realize that these people are not the characters they play. And they really have absolutely no business having this platform that we've created for them. We created this platform and we should take it away. We need to stop watching these award shows. We need to, if we don't like if a streamer is creating some sort of propaganda I'm for free speech.
Of course.
But we can vote with our money.
Of course.
And that's the only way we can make change.
Very well said, Kinsey. Very well said.
All the things. I just needed to say the thing about the thing.
Yeah. And by the way, Megan, you're wrong that it's not the most important thing to speak out about something you can't articulate. The most important thing is owning your story. Ask Meghan Markle. The most important thing in the world is owning your story, because when you own your story, you can anchor into your own knowing. Okay. Wow. So wise up. Next. This is a look I really am dying to talk to you about, Kinsey. Sorry, where's my brain today? Jenna Ortega on the red carpet. Jenna Ortega is wearing Givenchy by Sarah Burton. Sarah Burton, who was Alexander McQueen's number 2 for a very long time, and then took over the house after he died by suicide, and who designed Catherine, Princess of Wales's wedding dress.
Wedding dress?
That's Sarah Burton. Sarah Burton did this look. It's called Broken Chandelier, and the top, front and back are these multicolored gemstones, pearls, and crystals. And I, hands down, love it. To me, this is my top look of the night. What are your thoughts?
I feel like maybe it's not I get Met Gala.
That's a great.
I get Met Gala, but I felt like she stood out like a sore thumb, and not in the best way possible. But she's young, she's it right now, and maybe that this was just her way to cause a scene. I mean, she's everywhere. Wednesday's blowing up on Netflix, and she's in a bunch of new movies.
Maybe take a little bit of the oxygen away from Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah,
maybe.
Well, never in my heart. I've turned full Sydney Sweeney.
I know you have. We'll talk about it.
I've converted.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, I think I didn't love this. I feel like it's something fun that I would have loved at the Met Gala. On this carpet, we talk, black, cream, and red. It almost just stood out in a negative way to me.
It's very interesting, the color palette that dominated that night. I think what I appreciate.
You mean because it's the Nerve colors?
You guys, are we infiltrating? Are we really?
You're such an influencer.
Are we speaking to the infidels in Hollywood right now? The
They're
ones
listening.
who are the quiet, are pushing back against this bullshit. Okay, let's take a look at Michelle Williams in Chanel. Stylist Kate Young. Kate is a huge, very important A-list stylist. She is wearing vintage silk Chanel. It's embellished with layers of bias cut chiffon, and it's embellished with pearls. I have to say, to me, this looks like a giant assemblage of dust rags.
Right. I don't feel like people had her best interests. It's almost like, who's a bigger star than Michelle? Maybe somebody was like, look, we just have to get Michelle Williams out the door because we've got the girl from Wednesday coming in next, and we've got to throw the Givenchy on her. I just don't feel like Michelle had the right entourage around her this evening.
I have a story as to why that may be.
Go.
I have a friend who works in the industry, and he told me a story about Michelle, her hair and makeup team. It was a new hairstylist working with her at her house before an awards ceremony or an event in New York City. And Michelle sat silently while this hairstylist that was new to her worked on her and the makeup person. And when they finished, she stood up and she turned to them and she said, "Do you really think I look good like this? Do you really think I should be going to an event and being photographed looking like this?
Oh, no.
Get out."
Oh, no.
So when you see celebrities looking like that, that's their team effing hating their guts.
I had a bad makeup incident like that. It was for a Warhol event, which you would appreciate. And I looked crazy. And you know what I did? I smiled and I said, "Thank you so much." And I paid. And I went over to MAC Cosmetics in a different city, and I had them redo my face, and I never said anything about it. It's be a decent person.
Exactly.
I mean, your friend shared that story with you because they were traumatized by that experience. It
didn't happen to my friend.
Well, somebody was traumatized
in
by
that world.
experience.
They all talk to each other. Yeah,
and so that stuck with somebody. Be a decent human being. The ungodly amount of money these people are paid to memorize lines and make out with strangers. Just be a decent human being. I mean, your job is not that hard, Michelle Williams. I'm sorry.
Is it any wonder so many of these people support actual terrorists? Okay, we have to run through a few more of these because we have a lot to get to with you, Kinsey, before we have to say goodbye to you, which is very sad, but we'll see you again. Sydney Sweeney. Sydney Sweeney is wearing custom Oscar de la Renta. Her stylist is Molly Dixon. This is a scarlet crepe-backed satin gown with a draped bow neckline and Lorraine Schwartz jewels. She is wearing 120 carats worth of diamonds. Now, this was my second look of the night, and this is, as discussed on the live stream to me, it's giving Marilyn Monroe, it's giving old school Hollywood glamour, sex bomb, fully committing and fully knowing exactly the image she wants to put out there.
And a woman that is kind to her hair and makeup team and her dressers because she never leaves with a hair out of place. Do we
Great
ever,
point.
unless she's in a movie where she's supposed to look tore up from the floor up, does she ever not look impeccable?
That's a great point. Now, in thinking about this over the past few hours, do you think Sydney Sweeney might have been making a statement in doubling down by wearing red?
Oh, girl. I love that idea.
Those of you who tried to cancel me over my American Eagle campaign, those of you who are trying to cancel me because you're saying I'm MAGA adjacent and or my family is MAGA, F you.
I think we're going too deep here. I think she just looked like a hot number. But
I'm gonna stick with my working theory.
I love it.
Of the
I
case.
love it.
The Royals are always telling stories with everything from their jewelry to their
black sheep sweaters. That's true.
Black sheep sweater, exactly. Okay, quick look at Leslie Bibb. Late of, you're such a badass, to one Jenna Bush Hager in an Armani Privé, a black velvet plunging sweetheart neckline with silver beading, Cartier beading, not beating. Like, Cartier jewels. I thought this was ill-fitting on her.
It was fine, but you know what? You said something like so interesting last night or during the Emmy night about how she's having her moment. Do you remember her on the CW show Popular? She really is having her moment. I mean, she was on she started her television career 20, 30 years ago. This is the most attention she's ever received. I know she was like Ricky Bobby's wife in Talladega Nights and everything, but really she has struggled. She's worked so hard. So she's going to keep forcing herself down our throats until the new season of White Lotus, I imagine.
Well, she needs to really dial it back because it's giving desperation.
It's giving Meghan Markle. God love her.
Yeah. By the way, Meghan Markle wasn't there last night, and we're going to get to that. We're going to run through a few other looks really quickly. Adam Brody, star of Nobody Wants This. Outlier theory, I'll discuss it when season 2 drops. I think that the hot rabbi is bad news.
Oh my gosh. Are you?
Yes, I do.
I disagree with you because I'll listen to your theory when you release the full. But to me, I love the show because it's about community. It's like a positive look on the Jewish faith, and we're not getting a lot of that right now. I mean, how many people stood up last night between their buttons and their acceptance speeches and stomped on the Jewish faith and the community? I think it's such a sweet story about, love, but also the sacrifices you make for love and how strong faith and community, how just important it is to society.
I take that all. I do take that all. I'm just saying, like, bad boyfriend material.
Oh, I'd
like my theory.
I'd lick him in the face.
He's in custom Prada, looking like a 70s, prom date, who maybe date rape adjacent. Okay.
Oh, God.
Now, Lisa from White Lotus, also from Blackpink, she is wearing custom leve tulle ribbons, off the shoulder sleeves with a heart-shaped neckline, pink sapphire jewelry from Bulgari's Serpentine line. I loved this look. This look to me seemed so hard, like whoever, the actual crafts people, the artisans who made this dress looks like cotton candy. It looks like sculptural cotton candy. I just loved it.
I love it because it seems to be such a reflection of her personality, which is bubbly and sweet. And Bill from Brooklyn kept saying, act like you're happy to be here. Could you just be grateful?
It's so true.
And that's what we saw. And that felt like it was reflected in her outfit.
Agreed. I love that interpretation, Kinsey. Okay, next to one of our repeat offenders, Walton Goggins.
No.
Looking like, again, a slimy gigolo. Here, we're going to look at this video. He is on the red carpet in custom Louis Vuitton.
No.
My sympathies to the tailors who had to measure this guy and put their hands on him. Here he is kissing his wife. It seems like she's asking him, please, like, give me a kiss, like, show the world, like, we're good, after we all know you probably banged your co-star in White Lotus for days.
Allegedly.
On end, allegedly, reportedly, just my opinion. And he kisses her, and then he turns slowly, wipes his mouth.
Sanitized himself.
And then turned to give his full attention to his one true love, the camera lens.
Yeah. I don't look at this outfit and think that's a man who's going to the Emmys. I look at this outfit and think that man has bought more than one Plan B pill in the last 6 months.
Yes. Unless he's been snipped, his wife may have insisted because she knows.
Well,
she knows.
Better safe than sorry.
Sarah Paulson and Marc Jacobs.
Oh.
This is a fall 2019 look.
Vintage.
There's a reason you don't see. Listen, there are collections Marc Jacobs has done that I have loved. Like, he did this one, maybe it was his most recent, that I really love, full of this exaggerated silhouettes. But there's a reason you don't see celebrities wear a lot of Marc Jacobs on the red carpet. He is not a red carpet designer. What do you think, Kinsey?
I agree with you. When I think of Marc Jacobs, I think of Lauren Conrad from The Hills.
Oh, yeah.
She loved
tracks.
Marc Jacobs. Like, that it's just so much of a throwback. I wear Marc Jacobs glasses. I will say that every day. But I don't really see him as a red carpet. No offense, Marc Jacobs. And by the way, your facelift is amazing.
Okay, a positive note. I think we're going to end on Megan Fahey. We wanted to get to her on the Emmy live stream and we just weren't able to. She is wearing Valentino, accessorizing with Tiffany & Co. jewelry. I loved this look. I think there are very few younger, I believe she's in her early 30s, so, by Hollywood standards, she's out to pasture. But I really do believe there are very few younger actresses who really lean into old Hollywood glamour, who really lean into just being beautiful and making a statement on the red carpet. And this one is a very hard one to pull off without looking tacky. You could never put a Kardashian in anything like this. No. And I think she just looked stunning.
She did. You're right. It's class. It's class. You look at her and you go, oh, she's classy.
Yeah.
And she looked, I even loved like the Tiffany jewelry. I think that she is going to continue, her star's going to continue to rise because she's playing the game very well.
Very much so. Oh, okay, sorry. I saw this and I had to add it to the end. This is somebody I don't know, but I saw this red carpet thing and my mind went one place. Okay, this is Joella from RuPaul's Drag Race, dressed as a Labubu.
Labubu. I keep reading that these are demons, so I'm concerned. I guess we do expect a demon on a red carpet in Hollywood.
It's furry adjacent, if not full furry. And if you're unaware of what a furry is,
don't Google it unless you're using some sort of protection, private.
I'm just gonna say it, Kinsey, because we're a non-safe space. Furries are a subset of people. They have conventions who become sexually aroused dressing like stuffed animals.
Well, she said it.
So there is a
saved you a Google. So yes, there's a demonology happening here. Just saying. Now, thank you,
Jennifer Coolidge. I saw this on the Daily Mail this morning. The beloved Jennifer Coolidge, who throughout 3 seasons of White Lotus was just this sort of North Star of that show. she is, quote, slammed by woke Bob after learning that she supports Charlie Kirk. A few Instagram comments, quote, I'm done with Jennifer Coolidge after this, shaking my head. Please tell me this isn't real. Okay, this one hurts. Another one. The gays have lost another white, blonde, middle-aged woman. Jennifer Coolidge was following Charlie Kirk on Instagram. She's well rid of the likes of you guys, okay? And then this was followed by a Sydney Sweeney Daily Mail headline that Sydney Sweeney skips all after parties amid reports she is alienated and or shunned over her American Eagle campaign. After she presented Owen Cooper with the Best Supporting Actor. These are two true winners. If you have not seen Adolescence, this kid, Owen Cooper, I don't think since Jodie Foster or Christian Bale, we have seen more of a young prodigy. This kid has a huge, important career ahead of him if he wants it. Adolescence, I cannot recommend it highly enough. But Sydney Sweeney, she's persona non grata. She's one of the few young stars who can actually help save Hollywood, and they're treating her like this.
But do you really think that happened, or do you think she thought, I've got better things to do? I'm going to go home, I'm going to put my eye mask on, I'm going to kick my feet up, and I'm going to make money. I'm making money money left and right. I mean, she is a busy actress. One of the last times I looked, she had, I think, 11 new projects on IMDb that were about to come out. So maybe she just doesn't need it. She doesn't need more pictures, and maybe she doesn't need the drama.
You know what else I'm guessing? I'm guessing she did not want to risk her photo being accidentally taken next to one of these assholes wearing a dead Israeli's palm print on their pin.
I mean, that's a very good suggestion as well.
All right, we cleaned up that.
Yeah.
Cleaned up that trash.
I
Okay.
feel good about it.
Next up, we are going to talk New York Fashion Week, a new trend that is questionable to say the least. And Prince Harry, the latest on Prince Harry, with who better than the one and only Kinsey Schofield of Kinsey Schofield Unfiltered. If you have not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Do it now, and we will see you back here at The Nerve in a minute. Did you guys know that chips and fries used to be cooked in tallow up until the 1990s? That's when big corporations switched to cheaper and processed seed oils. And today, seed oils make up 20% of the average American's daily calories. Recent studies have linked seed oils to metabolic health issues and inflammation in the body. Luckily, there is a healthy, delicious alternative, masa chips. Masa created all of these delicious tortilla chips that we showed them on Emmy night at the Nerve. We were all snacking on them backstage. These chips are delicious. Everybody loves them. They're made with just 3 ingredients, so you know you're getting the real deal in purity. And there are no seed oils, just organic corn, sea salt, and 100% grass-fed beef tallow. These chips taste incredible, and they are sturdier and crunchier than other chips. They leave you feeling satisfied, light, and energetic. It's the beef tallow that makes these chips much more satiating. So you won't find yourself binging uncontrollably after you've eaten a bunch of them because you're still feeling hungry. They come in a variety of flavors. My favorite is the original, but there's also white, blue, lime, habanero, and churro. So if you are ready to give masa a try, go to masachips.com/Maureen and use code Maureen for 25% off your first order. That's masachips.com/Maureen, code Maureen for 25% off your first order. And if you'd rather not order online, not a problem, because starting in October, masa will be available nationwide at your local Sprouts supermarket. So stop by and grab a bag or 2 or 3 before someone beats you to it and they're gone. We are back. Now, we are going to talk about New York Fashion Week in a moment, but first we have to address Prince Harry. And I'm going to leave it to you, Kinsey, to explain these latest developments post Harry's generously timed 55-minute meeting with King Charles after 19 months of estrangement last week.
Well, I thought of you when I read this article because you see right through the BS. He talks to The Guardian. He's in Ukraine. He says he's in Ukraine to help veterans through the Invictus Games. but meets with Zelensky for some reason against the British government's suggestion. The British government specifically asked Zelensky not to meet with him, but they run off and have a little private time together. The one quote that stood out to me throughout this interview with The Guardian is he repeats Meghan Markle's mantra. Telling the truth is the most effective way to live, he says. Just stick to the truth, Meghan told him. Who would be stupid enough to lie? Well, clearly these two, because he claims that he didn't do anything wrong. He said, I don't believe that I aired my dirty laundry in public. It was a difficult message, Spare and the Netflix series, but I did it in the best way possible. My conscience is clear. He insisted that speaking out wasn't a matter of stubbornness. It is having principles. I don't even think you could spell it if you wanted to. It's not about revenge. It's about accountability. That is directly an assault on Prince William, if you ask me. You cannot have reconciliation before the truth. And he says the book is a series of corrections to stories already out there. Well, we didn't know about a physical fight between you and your brother that broke a dog pole and a tacky necklace. So, I mean, and that's one of many revelations. What is correcting the narrative in Spare when you talk about how your brother no longer looks like your mother and he's going balding and he's losing his good looks? Or like the copious amounts of Todger talk. I mean, that's not, that is factually not true. So I was really turned off by all of the praise for him throughout the UK trip, meeting with all these different charities. Oh, he got such a big win when he met with his dad, but he's blown it all up with this one interview, refusing to take accountability and pushing this telling the truth. I bet you could list 3 lies off the top of your head right now between Harry and Meghan. At least.
First of all, to Prince William's looks, Prince William as a young man was gorgeous. And then he sort of went through an awkward older man phase. But I find him now in middle age, he has an energy that I find very attractive. And that energy is do not F with me.
Yeah.
I am fit, I am in fighting shape, and don't F with me, I'm the future king. Whereas Harry constantly gives off this beta energy of defensive crouch. I'm afraid of my wife, my balls are in her pocket. Here's how Harry also really just blew up any potential reconciliation. If the British government is saying to Zelensky, please do not meet with this doofus, there is no way that King Charles did not deliver that message personally. Please do not do this. You are no longer a working royal. You are not dialed into what we are doing or not doing. It is not your place to go meet with the head of a country that is on the brink of it's not your place, but he goes and he does it. He cannot help himself. And so just keep digging that grave, Harry, digging that grave.
He's such a moron. And I loved this part too. He says there are certain elements of the press.
Oh, is that us?
There are certain elements of the press that falsely claim that he is down or not smiling. He said, this comes from people who think they know what I'm thinking and how I'm feeling. They are wrong. I think part of the British press want to believe that I am miserable, but I'm not. I'm very happy with who I am, and I like the life I live. And literally in the next breath, he says he's had a very stressful 4 years.
I've never been happier, and the past 4 years have been a firewalk. It cannot be both.
Right.
It literally cannot. He is so dumb.
He's so dumb.
He's such a dummy. Meghan Markle's already in a prison of her own making. I mean, you got to sit across from that guy every night and try to have a conversation. Can you imagine?
Oh my gosh. I bet she's so miserable because, well, at the same time, no, because this is the same woman that takes a camera crew to a bookstore to have some meaningful conversation about books and is like, I don't really read. I can't tell you the last time I read a book. Like, what?
Such a meaningful place to be.
Yeah.
Doing Duolingo. I'm relearning French.
I love
Pressing my
Jeopardy.
hands
I love
together.
Jeopardy.
Now, this again, I was saying this is sort of on theme because Meghan Markle, who had not one but 2 seasons, as she likes to tout, it's really season 1, part A, part B of her own show on Netflix. She could have been there as a presenter, but these people who embrace Hamas will not go near one. Meghan Markle says so much, doesn't it?
Oh my, well, I mean, from one terrorist to another, the fact that they don't want Meghan Markle there says a lot. The fact that I can't believe she's not there. If I really felt like I had a future with Netflix, I would be representing the company anywhere I could be. I don't think she was invited. I don't think she was invited, and I don't think she has a future with Netflix.
I don't think she has much of a future in the culture. except as just a person
Right.
who we know regrettably and who's going to continue forcing herself upon us. But we're done with podcasts. Netflix is done with them unless they can sell some other royal secrets. That's it. That's
Right.
it.
Which is why Prince William wants nothing to do with his brother. And I wish that King Charles would listen to his eldest son, who has literally sacrificed his entire life for this institution.
And is going to save it.
And
Is
is
going to
going to save
modernize
it.
it and
Yes.
save it. All right. So let's go to New York Fashion Week. Again, another place where Meghan Markle was conspicuously absent, even though she loves to think that she is a fashion leader and influencer. There's this new trend of actresses who are actual A-list stars who I don't think need to be doing this, who have embraced the sort of trend of naked dressing. And this is wearing dresses either on a red carpet or to a high-profile event that all but show them completely nude. So here's Margot Robbie at the premiere of a film called A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey in the UK. She's wearing Armani Privé. Now, this is beautiful. I guess it depends on the lighting and the camera angles and all of it, but this seems like a stunt a younger, more desperate for publicity actress would pull, not an established movie star. And this is why I think she did it, actually, because she just gave birth and she needs to show everything's back in shape. Directors, hire her. She's not let herself go.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. When I first saw this, I thought of Margot Robbie, Wolf of Wall Street.
Yep.
I was like, she's trying to announce, I'm here. And maybe it is the baby, but she worked so hard to ugly herself up for a little while so that we would take her seriously as an actress. And it's reverting. Like, okay, back to just being sexy in a half naked dress. You don't have to do this. You prove to the world how incredible you are with Barbie. Stick with the enthusiasm around not just being gorgeous, but smart too.
Yeah, I mean, Margot Robbie should really be looking to, I think, the likes of Cate Blanchett, the likes of Nicole Kidman.
Oh.
Get your armor on, get your own iconography going. You have access to the best. Be a warrior. Don't be down in the slums with, now here's another one, Dakota Johnson. She is at the Keurig Foundation's Caring for Women dinner in New York wearing Gucci, wearing what look like black doilies over her nether regions and her breasts. And, this foundation ensures help and services for women and children experiencing violence. I don't think this is the look one should be going for when attending a benefit gala.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like she's been so outspoken when it came to her grandmother's negative experience with Hitchcock and the abuse she received on set. And
The Birds.
Yeah, The Birds. And Hitchcock basically blacklisted her in Hollywood because he had this sexual obsession with her, it seems.
He did.
This feels like contradicts a lot of the efforts that she's been trying to make with her grandmother and mother, and the way that they've spoken out against that. But you know what? She does look pretty good.
There was actually a great HBO scripted version of what Tippi Hedren.
Sienna Miller is that?
Sienna Miller stars as Tippi Hedren. It's about what went on the set of the classic film The Birds, and it is all about, and Tippi wasn't the only one. Alfred Hitchcock became sexually fixated on every icy blonde that he would cast in his movies, and he wanted to have sex with them. And if they wouldn't play ball, he would find ways to torture them on screen. And for Tippi Hedren, he locked her in a tiny room with those birds literally attacking her. That was all real. He was a
Sicko.
sick genius. Sicko. Sick. Okay, the last one we're going to look at. Olivia Wilde at the Michael Kors show at New York Fashion Week. And she is wearing underneath a black blazer. She is showing off her breasts underneath a sheer, what passes for a shirt. Now, again, none of us are prudes here, but the question is,
Mother of two.
you're dumped by Harry Styles.
Yeah.
Probably still not
And
over
you
it.
Ted Ted Lasso for Harry Styles.
Don't be fooled. We'll talk about that later. We will. But what I mean is, like, she's an established beautiful, on the bubble.
Brains and body.
And so why are we doing this? Like, why are we she was photographed actually sitting next to Gwyneth Paltrow at whatever show they were at. And, you don't see Gwyneth doing this stuff.
No.
And Gwyneth will do a lot for attention.
No, she will.
Vagina candles, what have you. But she won't do this.
No, I agree with you. Gwyneth is another good example of how to maintain that star power. And, you don't have to cheapen it. Olivia Wilde, there's no justification. You're so smart. You've created some really compelling content. Lean into the brains. You don't need the body.
All right. Now there are two more celebrities we need to address. Nepo babies, actually. Now, Lily Collins is a Nepo baby. We discussed on the live stream on Sunday night whether her father, Phil Collins, did in fact break up with her mother over facts. Go over there if you want to hear that debate. It's really sparkling. But, so she showed up and I love Emily in Paris. Like, I gorge on it. I enjoy it on many levels. But she showed up at New York Fashion Week and she's wearing Calvin Klein. And it's a beaded, I think it's all beaded halter top and skirt. Her midriff is showing. And, rarely would I ever comment on someone's actual body, but this girl looks ill. Kinsey, what are your thoughts?
Well, look, so she has a 2017 memoir. It's called Unfiltered, No Shame, No Regrets, Just Me. She talks about anorexia and bulimia. And the same year, she did that Netflix movie To the Bone, where she lost a ridiculous amount of weight. She played this young woman with anorexia. And she talked about how that role was a form of therapy. I think that is why you're having so many people react, concerned. When it comes to this particular image, it's because of past conversations. It's because she has been open about anorexia and bulimia. And I do think that it's concern. I even hear it in your voice. I don't think it's judgmental. I think it's legitimate concern.
No, yes, it's concern. I saw her and I thought, because she turns around and so you see her from the front and the side and almost the back, and she looks skeletal, and it's very, and I'm only saying it because I just feel like there's this sort of sickness in society where like you're never too thin, and I struggled with an eating disorder as a teenage girl and in my young adulthood, so I come at this from purely a place of compassion, but I found it alarming. I did.
Well, obviously, she's got a new baby, too, which...
but wasn't it surrogate?
It is a surrogate, but I just mean that changes your lifestyle.
Of course.
Let's just hope that she's healthy. Let's hope that she's okay.
Now, to our final Nepo baby, and agreed, I co-sign that we root for Lily. We root for you over here. We're fans. Gwyneth Paltrow's daughter, Apple Martin. Okay, now, Kinsey, as you reminded me, you want to say exactly what you said to me about her behavior at the debutante ball?
Oh, I don't know if I can say exactly what I'll say heinous biatch at the debutante ball in Paris, but I don't think
Kinsey's
that's what I
such a
said.
Southern.
I might have said see you next Tuesday, but I can't.
Oh, I don't
remember.
recall you hearing that.
Oh, okay.
I don't recall hearing that from you. I recall the as my 12-year-old niece will say, like the B word. The
So
B
sweet.
word.
Yes.
And I was saying to a friend of mine, like if my niece turned out this way, I would be mortified. I would be mortified. She will not, because she's got good adults in her life and her parents are decent people. But Apple Martin has announced that and by the way, we've talked about the rumor about Apple Martin getting kicked out of Harvard Westlake. The rumored, reported, alleged story is that she bullied a classmate to the point of near suicide, and she was shown the door.
And no one's ever cleared it up, you told me.
Nope. So Apple has been named spokesbitch for some company or brand none of us over here at The Nerve have ever heard of. And we've got people of all ages and all generations working on this show by design. Let's look at Apple's Instagram announcement that befouled all of our algorithms last week.
Can't tell if this hairstyle's like working out, but it is me, Miss Apple Blythe and Martha, coming to you from
She sounds drunk.
in a gorge self-portrait. little baby teeth,
Gorge
and
self-portrait.
these cute-ass earrings. I'm so excited to be the new Miss Self-Portrait and for the campaign to come out.
I'm so excited.
It's like she's dolled out. Like housewives are always like on the dolls, Valley of the Dolls pills. And she's like shoving her face that she's like, first of all, coming to you from the floor. Gorge self-portrait. Gorge. She's saying I'm gorgeous. She's saying I'm gorgeous.
Yeah, because it's a t-shirt and jeans, girlfriend. But you know what? Like if I'm self-portrait and I'm giving you an ungodly amount of money because of your DNA and nothing else, like get off the freaking floor. Have some pride. Put together something nice, or put together a video where you actually show a little bit of enthusiasm. But it's just like this, and you're just like, I'm so excited. These cute-ass earrings. What?
She is giving total mean girl energy. And I think that she thinks it's a flex that she's coming to you from the floor. But by the way, full hair and makeup, that's a professional job, I think. It didn't cover up the pimple on her cheek when she was showing off her cute ass earrings that look like, they probably cost $20,000. And, this is the beginning. This is the beginning. Apple Martin now wants to be in our lives. She wants to be a public person without having done any work.
Just wait until it's Lily and Archie, for the love of God. I already hate it here.
Our dartboard, it's analog, but it's fully operational. So we'll see you on that thing soon, Apple Martin. Oh, Kinsey, this has been the most fun. There's nobody I would have rather done this recap with than with you.
Thank you.
I love your dress. You really brought it. You brought the glamour. You brought the enthusiasm. You brought the jaundiced eye.
I should have come naked.
In a naked dress?
Yeah.
Well, they wouldn't let you up in the building, I don't think, if you had. But you're better than that. You're better than that.
Thank you.
You don't need to try too hard.
Thank you.
So we thank Kinsey for her time and for coming to New York City just for the nerve, just for all of you troublemakers. We will be back together again before you know it, and we will do this again in New York or possibly in LA.
I love that idea.
It's a great idea. Next up, your emails. First, a quick reminder to keep them coming. You can reach me at Maureen at devilmaycaremedia.com. DM me on Instagram at Maureen Callahan Writer or at The Nerve Show. Remember, I know you guys don't need reminding, but it's my gentle reminder to like, subscribe, and spread the word. Because you guys are doing this, we have a very exciting announcement for you at the end of this show. The faster we continue growing, the faster we can give you guys what you want. We are also going to give you, we heard you amid all the excitement on our Emmy live stream, I don't think I gave you guys the actual URL for our Nerve Shop, our online Nerve Shop where you can go and get all your troublemaker merch. So I'll give that to you as well. There's a QR code on the screen that you can also use to access the online store. And we will see you in a minute. Today's show is brought to you by Oxford Natural. If you're trying to lose weight, whether it's after having a baby or you're prepping for a wedding or you're just ready to feel like yourself again, and you feel like it's just so tough, it is possible. And there is a method that thousands of men and women across the US and the UK are doing it with. That is Oxford Natural. Their Optimum Day powers you with steady energy, it crushes cravings, and it keeps your metabolism firing all day long. Optimum Night helps you relax, sleep deeply, recover, and keep burning fat while you rest. England's soccer legend Michael Owen lost 40 pounds, and Robbie, the face of AFTV, dropped over 100 pounds. Now it's your turn. Scan the QR code or click the link and grab 70% off your first order with code NERVE. No gimmicks, no needles, just results. Oxford Natural. Let's get to work. We are back. As promised, I want to give you guys the exact website where you can go buy your Troublemaker merch. It's shopthenerve.com. Shopthenerve.com. We also, again, we have the QR code on the screen. You can find all the info in the description below. Now, as always, we received a ton of great stuff from you guys. It was hard to winnow it down. We winnowed it down just a bit. You had a lot of fun over on the YouTube channel. We saw that. Okay. Maureen, to what we were discussing at the top of the show, this is Troublemaker Katie from Tennessee. I look forward to our weekly catharsis, as do all of us here at The Nerve. After Charlie Kirk's assassination, I was disappointed that you didn't address it on your show. Now I'm glad that you didn't. The Nerve was the break that my heavy heart and mind needed. That's what we're here for. Wanted to thank you guys so much for giving your audience that. Much love to you. Much love to you, Katie. This is YouTube feedback from our channel from the actual Emmy live stream. I have been so sad this week. Seeing this tonight, I finally laughed for the first time in a week. Trust me when I tell you guys, no better feedback we could get. No better feedback on the planet. Maureen, your brother and your guests are so down to earth. I feel like I'm at Sunday family dinner. That is so sweet. Thank you. Needed this after the horrible week we had. Agreed. I love when Bill is on the panel. He represents the true everyday man, something we really don't see at all on our screens anymore. Agreed. Bill from Brooklyn is the greatest on the panel. Real deal. He is. More Tim. I just know that man is a gem. Again, he is. What you see is what you get with our panelists. We only have the real deal on our show. Kinsey's the best. When she let out that plaintive no, when you were about to play the Aiden clip, it was priceless. A note about Jennifer Coolidge. She is my very dear friend's cousin. I've known Jennifer for over 21 years, and she is a sincere sweetheart. When my husband passed last year, she was the very first to text me, "Love you, Jen," with a heart. Teddy feedback, our special cameo appearance, Teddy Van Halen. Teddy in the hat, dying. I must say, Teddy was the best dressed tonight, followed closely by Sydney Sweeney, who is channeling Jessica Rabbit. Great reference. Another one for Teddy. I love the Nepo puppy. That made me laugh out loud. I got a couple of these at least. Is anyone else dying to see the shoes I was wearing last night? They were gold. I have a thing with like Gucci loafers because I'm not a label person really that much. I love it when it kind of feels slightly kitsch. And I love the idea of like wearing a Gucci logo on the foot. I think it's funny. But I also love their loafers. They're very comfortable. So those are a couple of years old. What if Teddy's wearing Tiny Jimmy Chews with Chews spelled Chews? Oh my God. So funny. Hello, Maureen. Love the live show. You cheered up many people with help from my panel and everybody here in production at The Nerve, especially after a sad week. Excellent humor. This is high praise in the way that Joan Rivers would reduce these celebrities from their high and mightiness. You had the perfect mix of guests. Your brother is great. We enjoy Tim. Teddy was a bonus. Okay, again, the shoes, asked and answered, and let's have more live shows. We would love to bring them to you, and we're working on it. Let's see. Oh, the highlights for this troublemaker from Oregon, Autumn. The constant changing faces on the dartboard. We had so much fun with that. We really thought that out. It was literally like the photo, which portrait, the order in which they go, where the darts go. It's an art and a science over here. And the in memoriam segment. Well done. Thank you, Autumn. And thanks to all of you guys. God, these past couple of days were really, really, really fun. So we have a couple of announcements, programming notes. We are going to be off just for a little bit for the next 2 weeks, but we will be engaging with you guys online, not to worry. We're returning with all new shows on September 29th, but our very special announcement is that we are adding a third weekly Nerve, a full Nerve. We are going to be back with a full show, which is going to launch in early October. We will be coming to you on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. So we're building our way up, and we are so happy to be bringing you guys this third show. And it is, again, it's thanks to you. It's because you guys have made the Nerve what it is. So thank you, my troublemakers, and we will see you all very, very soon back at home at the Nerve, where you will never guess what we're about to say next.